So, holiday possession. Yeah, it always confuses everybody. We always have problems with it. We'd have people calling us. So I feel like we should just do a video just to kind of avoid the craziness that we always get.
We get lots of calls around the holidays to try to explain the standard possession order because it can be difficult. We deal with it every day, so we have it down for the most part, but we still have to look it up just to make sure.
Go that far.
Every time I get a call, I'm like, let me double check.
Hold on, let me look. So, are you going to introduce?
Yeah, I guess we can do that. So, welcome to the consultation. Today, we're going to be discussing the standard possession order as it relates to holiday possession. My name is Josh Floyd. This is Christina Jimenez. Little wave. She looks cute. We are both attorneys at Jimenez Law Firm. And so we're going to discuss some holiday possession. Shouldn't take us too long to wrap this up.
I feel like this is just going to be a YouTube short. This is going to be like an actual podcast thing because
I think we'll let our marketing guy be in charge of what he was supposed to do.
So whatever Chandler decides he wants to do, whatever you do, Chandler, just do it. So we're only going to talk about this year because in the past we've done like super long segments and we went through and we explained kind of the whole standard possession holiday schedule. So if you want to know that, just go to our YouTube channel and you'll be able to find that someplace. But for the purposes of this segment, we only want to talk about this year because we want everybody to be clear. So hopefully we can save ourselves a lot of phone calls or text messages of when they're supposed to get you guys are supposed to get the kiddos. So standard possession holidays, we're just talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thanksgiving, whose Thanksgiving is it?
So Thanksgiving, I always say consult your order first because this is just going off of the standard possession order. So your order may be different. And even if it has the appearance of a standard possession schedule, there may be tweaks and changes to it. So this is just standard possession order straight out of the code, right? And so this year's possessory conservator is Thanksgiving. And so they would pick up, depending on which order says, from school.
Wait, what is a possessory conservator and what is a managing conservator?
I would think that you would know this, but so a possessory conservator is the non-primary, that doesn't make any sense, but
we haven't had our coffee yet.
So the person that does not have the right to designate the primary residence of the children of their child.
Okay.
So
that's the person.
That's the person. Yeah. If you don't have primary, then you're the possessory conservator. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. Okay.
Takes about 5 minutes to get there, but okay.
It's going to be longer than what we thought it was going to be. Yeah. The managing conservator obviously is the other person, the person that has the kids.
When you're struggling today, dude.
Are you going to do a nap and re-roll?
Yes, please. Okay.
So, possessory conservator. Not the primary conservator. The possessory conservator. They get Thanksgiving.
Done. No, okay. So sorry, we had a long day yesterday. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the calendars. And so kind of for the purpose of this exercise, we're looking at the LISD calendar, or I'm looking at the LISD, so Louisville Independent School District. As most of you guys know, we have a firm over in Louisville. We have a firm over in Flower Mound. We have a firm over in West Texas in the Midland-Odessa area. And so I've pulled the LISD calendar. Floyd, I think you have the ECISD calendar.
That's correct. Doesn't Flower Mound follow LISD?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the purposes of this year, LISD, it looks like they have it highlighted from the 20th to the 24th as the Thanksgiving holiday. And so what that means is that students are going to be dismissed for the Thanksgiving break beginning November 17th. And so that is going to be the possessory conservators weekend. So you pick up November 17th at 6 p.m. If you've made the election, and again, like Floyd said, follow your order because you might be able to pick them up from school. And then you will keep the kiddo all the way until the 26th at 6 p.m.
Just one point of clarification, because under standard possession order, they would also have that Thursday, right? So they would pick up on the 16th from school, drop off on the 17th, pick back up on the 17th, and have until the 26th.
Yeah, but we're talking about holidays. We're not talking about Thursday possession. Floyd.
I understand, but in an attempt not to confuse our audience, because you said that they get possession from the 17th to the 26th.
Correct. For the holiday.
For their Thanksgiving possession, yes. But you still get the Thursday. They still get the Thursday.
That's not relevant to holiday, but that is correct, yes.
If anybody thinks that was helpful, like and comment below that Thursday clarification was helpful.
Okay. Continuing on. What about you? When does ECISD get out for
the exact
Thanksgiving?
same. The exact same, yeah. So they
no
get out
early
on the 17th.
Release, nothing like that?
No, not until Christmas.
Okay, awesome. So if they had early release, let's just say hypothetically on Friday, if there's some school calendars where there's early release, if you have that election, you pick up from school when school is released. If you don't, you pick them up at 6 o'clock that day. Yeah.
You thought that was helpful.
That
right?
is helpful, yes.
Yeah, so you get from time school's release, whether it's regular time or
early dismissal, yes. Okay, going to...
Very helpful contribution.
Christmas, going to Christmas. LASD, they get out December 15th, and they do have an early release on December 15th. When does ECISD get out?
On the 19th, with an early release on the 19th.
Ew, yikes. Okay, so for LISD, because they get out on the 15th, this is actually going to be the managing conservator. So the parent who has the exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the kiddo.
You explain that very quickly.
Thank you. That you pick up from the on the 15th from the time school's dismissed, and you would keep the kiddos all the way until December the 28th at noon. Possessory, should you go first on the pickup? You want to do that?
I don't understand your question.
Like, do you want to go first on the first week?
What does that mean?
Do you want to talk about your calendar about the first week before I continue on with the second week of possession?
We can do that. Yes,
Lord
gotcha.
Jesus.
All right. So ordinarily that would be possessory's weekend, what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Right, but managing gets that because of the holiday.
Right.
Okay. So with mine in ECISD, the possessory still gets their weekend because school's not released until the 19th. So possessory would still get their weekend, the 15th, 16th, 17th, drop off of school on the 18th, depending on what your order says. And then the managing would have, for their holiday possession, the 19th at the time school is dismissed, whether it's on time or early, but in this case it's early, until December 28th at noon.
Yeah, that's kind of crappy. It's going to confuse a lot of people when you have that issue. So the important thing to remember on all holiday possession, and it's typically in your order if you have a standard possession order, is that holiday possession supersedes your weekend possession, right? And so in this particular case, like Floyd said, the possessory conservator normally would have the first, third, and fifth weekends. But in my case, because school is dismissed for the holiday on the 15th, you're not going to get your weekend, okay? In his case, because the way the school calendar reads, you will get your weekend possession, and then the managing conservator will start their holiday visitation. So.
Well, that's crazy. So in your case, the managing conservator has basically the entire month of December.
Yeah, except for the first weekend.
Yeah, other than that, all the way to the 28th at noon because it takes away the third weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I guess the possessor in your case still gets that Thursday visit on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so again, going back to holiday possession supersedes all other periods of access to your weekend and your Thursdays. So possessor, you're not going to get your Thursday visitations. You're not going to get your weekend visitation. So, kind of sucks, I guess. Now, in my case, kiddos go back to school on it looks like the 4th is when they would start. So Thursday the 4th. So December the 28th at noon, possessory is going to get the kiddos from December 28th at noon all the way until Wednesday the 3rd at 6 p.m.
Mine is the same.
Okay.
So the funny thing I just noticed about my calendar is it doesn't interfere with the possession. So possessory still gets their 3rd weekend, right, the 15th. Mm-hmm. And then managing has the 4th weekend, the 22nd. And then possessory picks up on the 28th, which would be their 5th weekend. Good job, ECISD.
Yeah, good job. So one of the things that we kind of noticed when we were going through this is, at least in my case, the managing conservator has a whole lot of days, a whole lot of nights, an extended period of time. And I think possessory only has like 5 overnights for the holiday. And I constantly, get these calls from clients of like, well, I only have this number of days, or they have all of these days. This isn't fair. It isn't right. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that we can do about that. The idea is that it's all going to kind of just come out in the wash. Like next year, you might have that extra time, right? Maybe 2 years from now, you're going to have that extra time. Unfortunately, as you can see through this example, the calendars are always different. In a lot of the districts, they could be, completely different. One of the other questions that we get is, what if we have like a baby that, 2 years old, not in school? What is the holiday possession schedule that they follow?
Depends on what your order says.
Well, if it's just a standard possession order.
So it's going to be the same.
Yeah. So you look at the school district of where the managing conservator resides, and that's going to be the school calendar that you follow. Okay. What if the kiddo's in private school?
Same thing. You follow the school calendar.
The private school calendar. So I've actually had that happen before, where I have a kiddo that's school age in private school, and then I have a baby, and then there's a conflict as to which calendar are we going to use. What do you think that we should do in that?
I think we should follow the private school calendar.
So that's it. Ultimately, that's where we ended up, was following the private school calendar. And that was because the 2 attorneys had to get together and say, this is stupid, because it was going to end up causing one of the parents to have the kiddo for like an extra 2 days while the other kiddo was going to be with the other parent. And so it kind of just didn't make any sense. And that's one of the things that we constantly tell you guys is be reasonable, try not to be stupid and cause problems over stupid things. But in that particular case, I think it was the mother who was trying to keep the baby for an extra couple of days. I think, though, legally, that
it would be split.
It would be split. And so that was kind of their contention is it should, for the baby, we're following the district calendar. For eldest, we're following the private school calendar. But try to work those things out so you don't have all this craziness and spend lots of money on lawyers.
Yeah, and the overarching public policy of Texas is best interest, right? And not to separate the siblings. So work together. It's the holidays. Yeah. Make sure the kids have fun. Okay.
And
happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Skip over that.
So is there anything else? What about like if we have parents that want to switch like times on Thanksgiving and Christmas? What do you think about that?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, do it if you can.
Get it in writing.
Yeah, get it in writing. But remember, even if you get it in writing, and if at the last minute the other parent says, I'm not going to do that anymore, it's no longer mutually agreed upon. And if it's not mutually agreed upon, you cannot enforce it. It's unfortunately, that's just the way that it happens. But then, of course, what goes around comes around. And next year or any other time, I can assure you that there's not going to be any other agreements. And so I think that it's important that you guys recognize that judges really look at that stuff. And there may not be anything that they can do by way of an enforcement, but it rubs them the wrong way. And in modifications, they will most certainly take all that stuff into consideration.
Absolutely. They're not going to be nice about it.
Yeah. So,
that's it. I think that easy breezy.
Very easy.
Once we got going.
Our producer wants to know, what about Kwanzaa and Hanukkah?
So those are actually not set out in the standard possession order. You can put in special provisions, and we've had to do that for special holidays on occasion, various religious holidays. So there's special provisions you can put in, but it's not actually incorporated into the standard possession order. So if you celebrate one of those, you get with your attorney, make sure those provisions are put into your order. But if it's just a straight standard possession order, then it's not going to be included, nor will the National Hot Dog Day be included. But we can set out provisions for that as well. Really, any holidays that you recognize. I mean, if you really enjoy hot dogs and you want to celebrate National Hot Dog Day, if that's important to you, then we can customize and agree to put any language that you need. But the only ones that are allowed for in the standard possession order is Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and
Father's Day, Mother's Day, birthday.
Spring break. That's not really a holiday, but
right, that's why I didn't mention it, because we're talking about holidays. Yeah.
But I have had orders or clients where they're like, we want Easter, we want Halloween, we want Hanukkah, and so
Hot Dog Day.
Hot Dog Day. I think one time, yeah. And so make sure that you guys incorporate those things in your orders. Otherwise, it's just going to be whoever's weekend it is or week. That's who's going to keep the kiddo. So I think that's it. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. As we always say, do not take this as legal advice. You need to consult your order. You need to consult your attorney because every order probably reads different. This is general information that we provide based on a standard possession order. Make sure that you like and subscribe to us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any place that you can find us. Please like and subscribe. And Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving.